Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is everything working this time around? Let us check. Okay, everything seems to be working this time without issue, I hope. Well, just in case well, wait. What? Why does it say... Oh yeah, those are from when I was testing the chat, and for some reason they're back. Thanks, YouTube chat, I guess. They'll go away eventually, right? Right. We just need to convert some energy and get my logins. Oh, let's go to Kanto 3. The unconfronting. Oh wait. Oh right. I should be reading first, and then I'll play the dungeon. And then I can finally do chapter 4, eventually. Well, by then I'll be caught up to chapter 4. See, the sun is almost set, leaving the bus to be shrouded in dusk. Looks like Karan is humming. Oh, still going. Oh, well, that lasted a while. Let's hear it again. Karan's humming a song while driving. I found myself singing along in my head to that strangely familiar tune. Wait, hold on. It's gonna do this.
The most beautiful performances are born from broken and ruined things. Ironic the way the world works.
Regilius spoke, having noticed that I was looking at the driver's seat.
Alas, they have not the privilege to fully appreciate the glee of their own music. Oh, how unjust that is. Karon, you look like you're in a good mood today.
Karan nodded.
기분 좋으면 노래를 부르는 거야.
Joy brings about singing.
I see. Although, as far as I remember, you would often hum that song when you felt down.
카론, 그런 기억 없어.
Karan has no such memories.
카론은 즐거울 때만 노래해.
Karan sings when she's happy. Regilius's eyes seem to well with a subdued shade of dark. That kind of hue that would be picked right away if one wanted to express solitude as a color. But it only lasted for a brief moment. So I decided to dismiss it as the vivid sunset playing tricks with the light.
The world Karan hums now is one that lacks sound and color. She's going through a long tunnel with no exit in sight.
I'm sure that, just like the history of my own life that I've forgotten, Karan and Vergilius must have their own threads of cruel reminders.
Pardon me. I believe that's enough of personal stories, don't it? Your work is to manage your crew, not befriend this old guide.
When I looked at his face again, that momentary hint of sadness had fleeted, replaced with a faint smile. I gave him a few nods, then turned around to check on the sinners. Our bus passengers hadn't lifted spirits for a while now. Yeah, the last chapter went pretty well, all things considered. It was nothing like chapter 1, that's for sure. It had helped that they did what they were assembled for and secured a golden bow for the first time. All the sinners were busy talking about their exploits in J-Corp's district.
내가 그때 딱 카드 내는 걸 봤어야 했는데 진짜 명장면이었다니까.
아, 저 이야기만 7번째 들으니까 슬슬 지겨워져서 그러는데 그래서 이번엔 어디로 가는 거지?
이번 목적지는
This time, we're headed to K-Corp's nest.
아, 11구? 덕분에 평생 가보지도 못했을 것 다 돌아다니네.
I mean, we're basically on a road trip to hell.
그곳에도 손에 꼽히는 대단한 분이 계신다네. 아마 근처에 기념품 가게도 있을 것이야. 난 한정판 피규어 세트를 꼭 사고 싶었어.
Dawn, no.
오, 거기 햄버거 맛있다고 유명한 프랜차이즈 식당 있지 않았어?
Ham Bong Bong?
요즘에는 세상 살기가 편해진 모양이군. 내가 임무를 위해 행군을 할 땐 입에 소금만 물고 가는 것이 전부였다.
Just a pinch of salt.
그러게 말이에요. 제가 항해할 때 목구멍에 넘길 수 있는 음식이라곤 철맛이 나는 통조림 수프가 전부였는데.
Canned soup.
침 고인다. 그렇지 않아, 류슈?
Steak.
뭐 지역마다 다를 피의 색을 생각하니 침이 고이긴 하군.
Okay then, Ryoshu.
진짜 무슨 얘기를 못 하겠어. 꼬맹이, 너는 뭐가 먹고 싶어?
We could go for some dumplings right now. Sinclair? Looking for someone to share tales with and have a sensible conversation, Rhodia naturally turned to Sinclair. However,
싱클레어? 어머, 얘 왜 이래?
하얗게 질렸군. 과호흡과 오한도 관측된다.
how long has he been like this?
베르길리우스님이 케이사라는 언급을 했을 때부터입니다.
Oh. Thanks for noticing, Mersal, and keeping track of it. Why didn't you tell me earlier, though?
명령이 없었기 때문입니다.
Mersal stared at me like I was at fault for not doing the obvious.
속이 갑자기 안 좋아져서요. 죄송해요.
진짜 괜찮은 거 맞아?
Now that I think about it, Faust, I'm noticing a trend where one of us has visceral reactions to destination that Virgilius reveals. I mean, that's kind of been a recurring theme thus far. Additionally, when we arrive, it turns out that the place does have a history with the person in question. Does that have something to do with the reason we joined the company?
우리라고 칭하시는군요.
Huh?
미묘한 변화의 차이를 감지하는 것도 저의 주 임무라서요.
Yeah, mine too, Faust. You're not that special, okay?
그리고 수감자들의 입사 이유에 대해서는 상세히 알려드릴 수 없지만 저희가 가야 할 행선지와 수감자 각각의 신변이 어느 정도 관련이 있다는 사실은 부정할 필요가 없겠죠.
I mean, we're all sinners here, after all.
기다 아니다부터 말하면 될걸. 쓸데없이 혓바닥을 길게 누리는 건 배운 놈들 특기인가?
두갈적 발화가 언제나 옳지는 않아요. 파우스트는 그때그때의 가장 효과적인 방식을 선택할 뿐이랍니다.
Hysteron, Proteron, what?
뭐?
What?
배운 사람이라서가 아니라 당신이 너무 못 배운 사람이라 파우스트의 말이 헷갈린다고 한 거예요.
Sure. Okay. Anyways. Oh. Just as Heathcliff approached Faust with his bat shaking in fury, Sinclair suddenly started throwing up on the floor. Oh. The bus finally quieted down after that. It's time to go to K-Corp. Still at the loading screens from Chapter 2, though. Shortly after the situation with Sinclair was dealt with.
그나저나 아까는 11구 뒷골목으로 간다는 걸 K사라고 잘못 말한 거지? 딴지 걸기엔 다들 들떠 보이는 분위기라 타이밍을 놓쳤는데.
I rarely speak, if ever. I know what I said, Gregor. K-Corp's nest is where we're going.
아니 근데 둥지로 들어가려면
Indeed, that's the immigration process.
Oh, we're crossing the border now.
난 K사 비자 없는데. 나 빼고 다들 있는 거 아니지?
뭐냐? 왜 날 보냐?
방법은 간단하다. 닭, 돌.
See, I counterfeit IDs?
그리고 뚫릴 때까지 죽사를 반복하면 돼.
And keep on DER till we reach the defense? DER, what?
즉, 닭, 돌, 죽, 살.
Cider, what? Real shit, what are you talking about? Whatever the eccentric abbreviation means for real shit, the sinners have learned to stop questioning it.
림버스 컴퍼니 정도의 회사라면 그냥 통과될지도 모를 텐데요. 그리고 류슈 씨가 말한 방식으로는 엄청난 시간이 소모될 거예요. 날개가 관리하는 둥지를 대체 뭐라고 생각하는 거예요?
Oh, I see. No one's going to take into account how much I'll suffer for that cider, huh? Sadly, none of our sinners bothered to respond to me in any capacity.
As Ishmael said, we'll pass immigration without needing a visa. Limbus Company has backing from the shareholders of a wide array of fields.
아, 혹시 H사의 주주님도 아시나요?
H-Corp.
제 동생이 어렸을 때 붉은색 여권이 아니면 안 된다고 고집을 부려서
Red
직접
passport.
저희 집에 방문해 주신 적이 있으시거든요.
Couldn't say, but I'm merely a humble guide who wouldn't be in position to know such a thing. Otherwise, the question doesn't seem like that's really seem like one that's really answering. That leaves the route to the checkpoint as our concern. Thorough inspection means that there will be plenty of people looking for an easy way in, including those who take the pass by force.
버스 근처에 불청객의 소리가 많다.
Oh. Well, half bus, real battle. Alright, time for battle because I want to see the chapter 3 loading screens, not the chapter 2 ones. No, not Drive. Inferno. The Unconfronting. Enter.
이 불꽃이 필요하시다면
걱정 마시오.
Alright, let's make short work of these
교전
guys.
시작합니다.
생명은 어떻게라도 보존될 생각보다 잘 타는 걸.
굉장해요. 완전 무력화.
잘 풀린 것 같습니다.
다소 유리하구려.
제 불을 따라오십시오.
표적.
완벽한 한방.
More fuel.
시원할걸?
탱고다. 아, 옛날.
제 불을 따라오십시오.
적사살. 좋아.
Defected Tempest. Wow, all tails. Thanks for start. Defected Palm Strike.
다음.
훌륭하고 기회 특별히 첨언하는
불타올랐군요.
완전 무력화.
다소
And
유리하구려.
then there was one.
교전 시작합니다.
다 죽어라.
And now there's none.
아, 너무 열심히 했어. 이걸로 일주일은 울고 먹을 수 있게.
Wait. Stairs door. Yeah, post battle.
기분 좋은 카론. 기분 좋게 도착.
Cock-a-hoop. Cock-a-hoop. Takaran's cock-a-hoop parking.
Alright, off the bus. Time to get inspected. And let me add this just in case you're feeling inclined to your usual antics. Don't go around making a scene expecting things to go your way, because that will not be how it works in this particular place.
I thought his words were pretty intimidating, but despite the worries...
K사로 방문하신 모든 분께 환영의 인사를 드립니다.
Sure.
한 줄로 순서에 맞게 입장하신 다음 안내문에 따라 적합한 위치에 서주십시오.
The menacing and interrogative atmosphere could subdue the temper of any first-time visitors, and the Sinners were no exception. I could occasionally hear Sinclair sniffling, followed by Rhodia and Gregor calming him. Any of my questions why we were met with heads shaking sideways.
Look here, how nice is it to see you all stay in line and behave like a brood of chicks on an outing.
당신이 왜...
What made you follow us outside the bus this time? Noticing my flustered reaction at the unexpected company, Virgilius opened his mouth.
Because this is a nest, Dante. If one of you were to get into unexpected trouble here, well, Dante, the responsibility will be a bit too heavy for you to bear alone.
Oh, yeah. For once, Virgilius is being nice. When Virgilius put it like that, it sounded as if he were saying, "You're not reliable enough to be sent without supervision." I mean, considering our track record, yeah, and especially in a place like this, with actual super tight security, understandable. But I knew it'd be wise to keep this to myself. Alright, what kind of wacky situation will we get ourselves into this time? Code purple. Alright.
금방금방 빠지네요. 10분 정도만 기다리면 저희 차례가 오겠어요. 통과 질문은 저희 13명이 다 해야 하나요? 단테 씨는 말을 못 알아들을 텐데 어떻게 해야 하죠?
Oh, right. TikTok. Ishmael seemed to have a habit of speaking quickly and being more inquisitive when she got anxious.
I was just about to get to that. Listen up. The K-Corp official will only ask very simple questions to passengers in this line. And your answers will be similarly concise. When the border official asks about the nature of your visit, say, "I'm here for business on behalf of Limbus Company. Please refer to my work visa." Remember this exact phrase so that you can recite it word for word. I'll take care of the rest, so you just have to prove that you aren't here to cause trouble.
혹시나 저 말을 외우지 못하겠다면 차라리 입을 다물고 있으세요. 그저 갖고 계시는 사원증을 내밀기만 해도 되니까요.
Well, that's a lot easier. Keep quiet and don't cause trouble. Easiest tasks in the world. I sneakily mumbled a sarcastic remark. I was worried that Faust might rat me out, but thankfully, Virgilius was idly staring off into space, sparing me his scathing commentary.
Now, next up. If you have a question, make sure to first ask yourself if it's actually meaningful. Then quietly raise your hand.
Several hands were lifted, including mine.
Rodion.
업무 목적이니까 무기는 들고 들어가도 되지?
Correct. Next.
그럼 그에게 기기괴기한 팔이나 단테의 근사한 시계머리도 상관없겠네?
맞아요. 참고로 관리자님의 머리는 무기가 아니라 의체로 분류되기 때문에 관광 비자여도 허용은 돼요. 비록 불사의 능력을 지니고 있더라도요.
Ishmael took the role of the model student and answered in Virgilius' stead. It feels like something changed about Ishmael's attitude since the casino job. Yeah, she's kind of nicer now, I guess. She seems to have decided to take matters into her own hands after I betrayed her expectations of my capabilities as a leader.
Precisely.
Gregor and I put our hands down at the same time.
And Ryo-shu, put out your cigarette before you speak.
난 손 안 들었다만.
Your hand's raised right now, isn't it? Oh, Don? Don? Virgilius was done doing his best to ignore Don Quixote's arm stretched skyward. But he finally caved and gave the woman with an adamantly raised hand the chance to speak.
Fine. Don Quixote. What is it?
저 유리벽은 어떤 용도로 있는 것이오?
Something's gonna go wrong. Following Don Quixote's finger, our attention was drawn to the glass walls stood in the middle. Our attention was drawn to the glass wall stood in the middle of the building. On the other side of that clear dividing wall were countless people waiting in line.
저쪽은 기다린다기보다는 아예 사람들이 바닥에 앉아 있군. 줄을 선지 꽤 시간이 지난 모양이야.
Probably days, maybe weeks.
무장 경호원도 많군. 이곳 인원의 3배.
대부분 건물에
Most of
세워져
the
있는
glass walls you
유리벽은
find inside buildings are there for safety reasons.
가능성이 크다.
뭐 쉽게 말하자면 뒷골목 사람들 전용 구역이지. 둥지마다 방식은 다르지만 어쨌든 제대로 된 비자가 없이 다른 둥지로 가는 건 진짜 까다롭거든. 왜 검문소 근처에서 목숨까지 걸고 우리를 습격하려고 했겠어? 비자를 강제로 빼앗아서라도 둥지에 가려고 했던 거지.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
그리고 우리가 해결해 줄 수 없는
A problem we
문제이기도
are not
하지.
in our power to resolve.
However, that didn't satisfy Don Quixote. Oh no. Whether it was the fault of the gloomy yet oppressive atmosphere of the area beyond the wall, or the disturbances happening in there, I couldn't say.
관리자님, 저희 차례입니다.
Huh? Right. Our line moved at such a quick pace, we barely had time to chat before it was our turn to answer the officials' questions.
기억하세요. 그쪽에서 어떤 목적으로 왔냐고 하면
Just show them your ID, everything will be fine.
한 번만 더 말하면 심사관인지 뭔지 아는 놈이랑 만단지에 해주겠어.
Sangria, what? Despite Ishmael's worries, our inspection was smooth sailing.
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
업무처 림버스 컴퍼니에서 왔습니다. 사원증 확인 부탁드립니다.
확인했습니다. 다음.
림버스 컴퍼니에서 왔죠. 비즈니스 때문에. 사원증
확인했습니다. 다음.
Oh, that's relatively smooth. After our first stint proved who we work for, it was a breeze for the rest of us. The official asked the same question in the same dry tone, took a cursory glance at our faces and employee cards, though based on their speed, it seemed more like a customary gesture rather than an actual look over, then let each spinner pass. Yeah, I mean, like, kind of want to be quick about it after all, too.
저쪽에서 무슨 문제가 생겼나 봐요.
The glass wall standing between us and them was thick enough to block out sound. It was hard for us to tell what was going on through the wall. However, I could see what was happening unambiguously. Someone with cupped hands was being dragged away by security. And a small child was crying next to them, clearly scared and confused.
신경 쓰지 말죠. 잘은 모르지만 날개의 금기를 어긴 모양이에요.
그래. 가난뱅이들이 어긴 금기를 받자 만족스러울 만큼 충분한 돈을 뒷구멍에 찔러주지 않았다는 걸 또 있겠어?
지금 저한테 이죽대는 건가요?
뭐야? 신경 쓸 일은 아니라며. 너무 신경 쓰는데?
Tired? Yeah, me too. But I want to finish chapter 3 and then I'll just have that off of my mind. And then I can start doing chapter 4 and then truly experience the Limbus Company experience. Also, Knickers. Knickers with a K. Knickers. What a word. That is... While I was distracted by Heathcliff loudly celebrating his first successful tease on Ishmael, our usual suspect sprang forth at her least expected moment yet again. Dawn, don't you dare.
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
Dawn, don't do it.
약자에게 자유를 주기 위해 왔노라.
God, Dawn, no. And emotion is expressed for the first time on the checkpoint official's face. It's like, I can imagine what it looks like. It's probably just like, huh, or shock, or confusion, or whatever. Flabbergastation. Yeah, let's go with that. They looked up at Dawn with the face screaming that it was flabbergasted. It's like, what are you talking about, face?
저자들을 풀어주게. 고통스러워하고 있지 않은가?
Dawn.
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
The official ignored her demand and parroted the same question. All the while, Don Quixote was getting more upset by the minute. And then, well, in looking through the transparent wall again, I saw the desperate child mouth a scream at the man dragged away in handcuffs. Dad. Well, so much for smooth sailing.
그대가 나설 마음이 없다면 내가 직접 해결하겠네.
Dawn, you absolute buffoon. Wait, hold on. Look at this. Look at this idiot. Anyways. Dawn, why did you do that? Well, I already know the answer, but still.
코드 퍼플. 금기 K185 위반 발생.
So that's why it's called Cold Purple.
트롬보사이트 지원 요망. 재전파. 트롬보사이트.
Veering away from inquiry like a broken record, the official spoke an intimidating and new response to the radio.
안내합니다. 코드 퍼플. 순환 이동 검문소 14번. 트롬보사이트, 루코사이트.
Cold Purple. Blaring silence accompanied the perplexing announcement, all while thick metal gates shut around us.
그냥 대갈통을 부수고 시체자루에 넣어서 지나갈 걸 그랬어.
You know, just this one time, that would be fine, Heathcliff.
그런다고 아주 달라질 건 없었을 것
Although,
같지만요.
yeah, that too. It wouldn't have made much of a difference.
트롬보 루코. 각각 혈소판, 백혈구를 의미하는 것 같소만.
Yeah, I was about to say, those sound like blood cells. Yeah, there we go.
저들을 의미하나 보군요. K사와 어울리네요.
Looking in the direction Faust indicated, we all saw what she meant. Security forces wearing menacing uniforms were staring at us. Anyways, one off-screen battle later. Theater, main story, the unconfronting. Post-battle. Really just gonna watch from there?
You won't sway me with that look, manager. I'm nothing more than a guide that none pay heed to. It would be impertinent of me to brandish my weapon. Well, to meddle one final time, K-Corp's singularity takes the form of healing bullets that restore most wounds in the blink of an eye. I suppose it could be compared to that ability of yours.
Hey, wait! Completely ignoring my feeble plea, now that they could hear it, K-Corp security guards closed in on us. Alright, how are we gonna get ourselves out of this pickle? HP bullets. K-Corp singularity, HP bullets. Any would-be fatal injuries we managed to inflict were healed away with a single shot of those regenerative rounds. Yeah, just shoot them to heal them. It was only a matter of time before the thread by which Heathcliff's patience was snapped.
우리 우린 세상에서 제일 의미 없는 일을 하고 있어, 알아?
말했잖아요. 날개와 엮이는 건 무의미하다고요.
Yeah, these guys are prepared.
이렇게 실시간으로 허무해지는 전투일 줄은 몰랐지.
This is all Dawn's fault.
잘라내면 잘라내는 대로 살점이 차오른다. 전투를 제대로 지속하기 어렵다.
이딴 예술도 있는 거군.
Ryoshu made the most pained expression I've seen from her, begrudgingly swinging her sheath around. Cuts and slashes will mend before even a drop of blood can spill from them. There couldn't be a worse battle for Ryoshu to fight. Isn't there anything we can do?
HP. 헬라포이시스 기술은
Wait, that's an acronym?
손실된 신체의 세포를 끊임없이 보충하는 기술이에요.
Or, I mean, like, well, yeah, it's still an acronym, I guess, but it's like, usually it's like health points, but in this case it's an actual word. Poiesis.
한번 투약받아도 상당히 오래 지속되는데 둥지 안에서 보급을 받는 저들은 전투로는 이길 방법이 없다고 할 수도 있겠네요.
Yeah. Even Faust was shaking her head in despondency, but then...
혼란 속에 비로소 이 몸이 등장하였으니.
Oh? Huh? A peal of overwhelming energetic laughter rang through the air. Huh? Is this Dawn 2? Siegfried? Who's Siegfried? A figure approached us with terrifying force, reminiscent of a frenzied beast.
뭐야? 뭐가 달려오고 있는 거야?
앞으로 3초. 관리자님, 판단을.
3 seconds isn't enough time to react. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. Bergulius was the only one who showed no surprise. To be more clear, he was more displeased than unsurprised at this apparently unexpected arrival.
There you are, K-Corp superstar.
A jovial-looking man appeared amidst the chaos with an obnoxious laugh.
모두 안녕하신가? 목격담은 얼마든지 올려도 되지만 사진 촬영부터는 K사의 공식 허가가 필요하네. 다만 30분 후에는 잡지 인터뷰가 있어서 길게는 시간을 내주지 못해. 섭섭해도 이해해주게.
왜 안 오나 했지.
Was wondering when you'd come.
날개 월급쟁이가 되어버렸다지. 지크프리타.
I wasn't expecting him to say wagey, but okay.
I heard you became a wagey serving the wings, Siegfried.
그 비아냥거리는 말 본세는 여전하시군 그래. 코드 퍼플이 발동해서 불이 나게 달려왔더니만 그대의 친구들이었나 보군.
친구 아니야.
Not exactly friends. I hope you understand that I had nothing to do with the commotion.
그럼 그래.
Yep. I'm counting on you to give them a spicy lesson.
무슨 이야기를 둘이서만 불길하게 속닥거려?
Spicy lesson.
동감. 어디서 굴러온 놈이지?
보아하니 꽤 구석진 골목에서 온 분들도 있나 보군. 좋아. 그렇다면 이번만큼은 특별히 사진 서비스도 제공해주겠어.
우리를 아주 길거리 추종자처럼 대하고 있군. 감히
Don't guilty. What's wrong?
우리가 좀 바빠서
We're in a hurry, so get this done within 1 minute if possible, and keep that clockhead out of this.
의체인가? 그렇다면 50초로 하지.
50 seconds. Both a skilled fighter and talented performer, I could only watch in awe as he proved himself to be nothing short of a hero.
자, 여기를 한번 봐주게. 우리 팬들이 매우 좋아해 줄 거야.
이 새끼 더럽게 강하군.
응? 방금 뭐란 거지? 깜찍하군 그래.
Oh. One after another, he made short work of the sinners. Vergilius watched the carnage with a pleased expression.
동지에서 주제도 모르고 나대면 어떤 결과를 초래하는지.
About time they learned what happens if they kick up a ruckus in a nest, thinking they can get away with it. Dante. You may not remember it at the moment, but at one point you used to be something of a bigwig, so to speak.
I mean, I kind of figured as much, but okay. I was? I just couldn't picture it. Yeah, me neither. Right now, I'm just a powerless leader who fumbles in any emergency, constantly being chewed up, spat out, and ignored in the trash by my sinners. They've even started treating me as the team's field medic. To think that this miserable manager used to be the respected leader of many sometime in the past. I felt a genuine desire to ask Faust for another way to recover my memories.
However, your memory loss does not wholly excuse all the faults in your performance as the manager. I'm certain you understand what I mean.
I thought of the staff at the K-Corp checkpoint. They showed no pity for the family they were about to tear apart, treating it all as nothing more than part of the due procedure. Although Don Quixote got us into trouble when she sprang forth to rectify injustice, I just know it would have haunted my sleep for days if we turned a blind eye. And seeing Heathcliff tighten the grip on his weapon to veins as he witnessed the disturbance. If not Don Quixote, I feel at least one of us would have intervened. Oh. I guess they're not all that bad, but still. Truth be told, I didn't do everything in my power to keep Don Quixote down. Regulius isn't necessarily wrong when he says the blame rests on me for causing this. Yeah, we kind of should have expected this, but oh well. Should have kept Don Quixote down, but it is what it is. Taking back my head might not be for the best after all, Regulius.
Ah, dear. I've got to tell them to put a microphone next time. I'll take it that you've gotten my point.
46.5초. 오늘도 세계를 정의롭게 수호한 시간이었다.
Looks like the curtains have closed. Time to rewind, Dante.
It's rewind time, baby. Every song too. After 12 whirls of agony, the sinners are all back in one piece. The massacre must have been humbling because it feels rather strange seeing them this quiet.
어떻게 지내고 있었는가 붉은 시선. 요새 통 얼굴 보기가 힘들었는데 둥지 속 우수한 해결사들의 모임에도 안 나오고 내가 초대장을 무려 수십 장이나 보냈는데 봤지?
주소 바꿨어.
Changed addresses, and I don't have the time to be lick top brass boots if you're doing like you're doing.
Well, I really can't read today. I don't know what happened between these two, but Regulius is a bit hostile here, right?
첫 보기에도 둘의 성향이 다르다고 느끼지 않나요, 단테?
In what ways?
간단히 말하자면 지크프리트 씨는 해결사 중에서도 날개 친화적인 쪽에 가까웠죠. 반면에 베르길리우스 씨는 해결사만의 독립성을 추구했어요. 영향력이 강한 어느 한 곳에 해결사가 종속되는 순간 해결사가 지켜야 할 최소한의 가치마저도 사라진다고 생각했거든요.
Try not to be a sellout after all.
힘 있는 자들 한정에선 누구보다 엄격한 잣대를 들이미는 사람이니까요.
I would be too, honestly. Now, speaking of Faust, I saw Don Quixote quake and approach Siegfried with shaky hands. She must have been honored to see him, even after being mincemeat by his hands mere moments ago.
팬이요. 그대 피규어도 모아놓았어. 한정판은 아니지만 나도 그대처럼 엄청난 해결사가 되는 것이 꿈이요.
Okay.
해결사 꿈나무군. 시간이 얼마 없지만 사인은 해줄 수 있지.
그게 정말이요? 그럼 사인은 여기에.
숨 좀 쉬어, 돈키호테.
안내합니다. 상황 종료. 코드 퍼플. 상황 종료. 코드 퍼플. 올
Yeah.
코드 클리어.
Yeah, after they were all slaughtered in like under a minute.
일은 성공적으로 끝마쳤다. 그럼 또 어디선가에서 보도록 하지.
My work here is done, but you didn't do anything. Whoosh. Leaping with tremendous force, Siegfried vanished into the air. Although there was a small delay, we did get the travel permit in the end. Oh, so we did get through it somehow, I guess. Regulus returned to the bus in the meantime, or perhaps he only got off knowing that we'd run into that Siegfried. He looked rather upset as he walked away, but no one else seemed to care that much. I mean, it's kind of obvious that he would be upset. Clueless of the surrounding frigidness, Don Quixote was as happy as calm as a clam. I mean, caressing this sheet of paper autographed by Siegfried.
꿈을 꾸고 있는 것은 아닌지 모르겠어. 아, 관리자 나리, 내 볼따구 한 번만 꼬집어줄 수 있겠어?
Okay, pinch. Just as I was about to give the blissful Don Quixote a word while we walked out of the border checkpoint, an armored vehicle stopped before us.
새로운 적인가? 둥지 검문소 앞에서 간도 크군.
이 차는 LCC 청소부서
Oh,
소속이군요.
they're here to help us. They're not here to kidnap us. Okay. Following Faust's plain reply, the vehicle's doors opened.
나 참... 왜 이렇게 오래 걸린 거야? 이 근처를 세 바퀴나 뱅뱅 돌았잖아.
Yeah, we had a bit of a situation. Again, a couple of familiar faces appeared out of the car. Effie and San. Even though their outfits had changed, their faces were greased with just as much confidence and poise.
비포팀에서도 온 건가? 분위기가 좀 달라졌군 그래.
그건 카지노 잠입을 위한 위장복이었답니다. 결과적으론 쓸모가 없긴 했지만 말이에요.
Yeah. TikTok.
그 신부를 찌르는 말투는 여전하구만.
My chest ached a little at the thought of the harmonious cacophony that was our last operation.
소드, 저 시계 시침 바르르 떨리는 거 보여? 저러다가 울기라도
They're
하겠어.
bullying Dante again.
장난이랍니다. 실력으로는 아직 발전해야 할 부분이 한참 남아 있었지만 그래도 LCB 부서만의 색깔이 있다는 걸 인정하기로 했거든요.
No. In spite of the rough paths we took, it sounds like we did leave a positive impression on the two. Yeah, despite everything we happened, we did complete the mission somehow.
비포 팀들은 먼저 작전 현장에 도착했는 줄 알았는데요.
다른 대원들은 이미 도착해 있을 거야. 너희들이 알면 유용할 추가 정보가 있어서 잠시 남아서 기다려주기로 했지.
어떻든 간에 우리가 신경이 쓰였다는 거네.
How sweet.
너희들도 우리의 매력에 헤어나오지 못했던 거 아니야? 왜 그런 거 있잖아. 귀신같이 맛없는 재료들만 모아놓아서 요리했는데 묘하게 맛이 있는 거?
맞아. 전장엔 그런 게 많았지. 분명 먹을 당시에는 비참했는데 자꾸 기억에 남는 그...
Yes, quite memorable.
두 분 다 어떤 음식을 드셔왔던 거죠?
We've been eating MREs.
저 그런데 전달받을 정보란 어떤 것인가요?
이번 목표 지점 말이야. 우리 말고 다른 집단이 점령해 있는 상태인 것 같아. 그래서 우리 쪽에서도 평소보다 많은 인원을 투입하고 있지.
그래봤자 또 어디서 모여드는 쇠파리 같은 놈들이겠지.
As Otis pointed out, we weren't new to encounters against groups of foes drawn near the Golden Bows. For our first mission, straggling soldiers from G Corp took shelter in the abandoned facility. And on our second, a variety of gangs inhabited the casino.
안타깝지만 이번 상대들은 예전 같은 부스러기는 아닌 모양이야. 심사 기록을 슬쩍 살펴보니까 몇 주 전 엔사에서 대거 파견한 기록이 남아 있었어. 심지어 우리와 목적지가 같더라고.
엔사에서요?
공식적으로 드러난 행보는 아니지만 K사 쪽에서도 심사 통과를 해준 걸로 봐선 모종의 거래가 있었을 수도 있지.
즉 N사에서 미리 파견이 와 있는 게 사실이라면 가는 길이 순탄하지만은 않을 거라는 소리랍니다.
그렇군. 이거 자칫하다 여러 날개를 척 찌는 건 아닌지 몰라.
장기적으로 봤을 때 날개 간의 충돌은 불가피한 수순일 거예요. 하지만 N사에서 공식적인 파견을 공표한 게 아닌 걸 봐서는 단순히 이익 집단 간의 충돌로
Yeah, it's just a conflict of interest.
어쩌면 그들이 진정으로 원하는 건 황금 가지가 아니라는 가능성도 배제할 순 없어요.
어찌 됐든 여기저기에 써먹기 편한 게 우리라는 건 부정되지 않은 것 같지만.
That's usually how it goes in this world.
아 맞아. K사 입국관리소에서 소동을 일으킨 멍청이들이 있다고 했는데 혹시 얼굴 봤어?
소문이라는 건 참 빠르게 퍼지는군. 마치 로신한테 갔어.
Roshinante. That's the name of her spear. Don Quixote hung her head, possibly in embarrassment. Perhaps she's finally starting to learn that her reckless actions will have repercussions. That, or I'm mistaken and she's glad that more people know of what she's done.
아깝지 뭐예요. 그런 광경은 자주 볼 수 있지도 않았을 텐데.
Yeah, it was quite the sight to see them getting slaughtered in under a minute.
목숨이 여러 개 있는 게 아닌 이상 누가 감히 입국관리소에서부터 소란을.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
설마 아니죠?
자, 시간도 얼마 없고 하니 빨리 이동하죠.
이런 베르길리우스님은 이번에도 안 계시나 보네.
그 양반 먼저 버스로 돌아갔어.
아쉽네요. 이번에야말로 얼굴 한번 비추고 싶었는데.
다음에는 꼭 인사를 하고 말겠어. 너희 대신 우리를 합류시킬 생각은 없냐고도 물어볼 계획이거든.
You sure you want to do that? What? That's the reason you wanted to meet him?
마냥 농담은 아니랍니다. 이따가 현장에서 다시 봐요.
너희가 무사히 도착할 수 있다면 말이야.
Oh, how sweet. Alright, next cutscene. But before we do that, I need to take a short break and then just leave it at Virgilius stepping on Dawn. Alright, let's get back to it. A pouty Charon and the cold stare of Virgilius awaited us on the bus. The air was heavy with a sense of oppression, leaving little room for light-hearted jokes.
늦었어.
You're late.
카론이 해까지 샜는데도 너희 안 왔어.
You're late. Charon counted to 100 and you still didn't come. Charon. Wait.
Charon.
She seemed to have a few more words ready to be flung in that icy tone, but Virgilius put a hand on her shoulder and gave her a glance.
베르, 카론은 지금을 기억할 것입니다.
Sorry about that. I'll buy you something sweet later.
Charon sat in the driver's seat without further complaint, and Virgilius slowly turned to us. If there was one thing the sinners and I were all good at, it'd be sensing immediate danger and making way. Dispersing from the group, we scuttled away into our seats, leaving only Don Quixote anxiously standing in the aisle of the bus.
변명을 듣겠다. Don Quixote.
Let's hear your excuse, Don Quixote.
본인은 핍박받고 있는 약자를 그냥 지나칠 수 없어.
아니,
No.
틀렸지.
My vision couldn't follow what happened in that instant. I have nothing to blink. So it should have been possible for me to miss a moment, and yet... When I caught up with the situation, the first thing that came to my sight was Don Quixote brought to the ground, shoulder trampled under Virgilius' shoe.
나는 변명을 하라고 했지. 네 사상을 변호하라고
I asked for an
하지
excuse, not a justification of your views.
처음이 아니지, Don
This isn't the
Quixote.
first time either, Don
벌써
Quixote.
세 번이나 비슷한
You're
일이
responsible
있었다.
for 3 separate incidents already.
Yeah, this is 3 already. 3 strikes and you're out, but like, we can't really kick her out because she's a sinner, so we're stuck with her.
네 정신 나간 짓
That's
때문에
3 separate times
세
you've
번이나
jeopardized our work with your
일이
deranged behavior.
벌어질 뻔했다고. 어떻게
What do you
생각하지?
think? Speak.
말해봐라.
본인을 위해 동료에게 폐를 끼치기는 했다만.
Don Quixote's pain.
Wait, Don Quixote's pain groan grew louder, but no one stepped in. Of course, she was being punished for her own actions. But more than anything, it was evident that disrupting this wasn't going to make the situation better.
생각을 물었다고.
I was asking for your thoughts.
왜 말을
Why do you
알아듣지
not
못하지?
understand this?
말하고 있지 않았어.
너는 여기서
What you should have
미안하다는
said to me
말을
was
했어야
from
해,
at the
Don
get-go
Quixote.
was an apology, Don Quixote.
덧붙일 거라면
Anything you'd add should be an
앞으로 어떻게 할
elaboration on how
것인지
you plan to improve your
계획을 말했어야
conduct.
했고.
이런. 아까부터 답을 정해놓고 말하고 있지 않소.
모르나?
Don't you know, a
회사는
company
대부분
already has the
정해진
correct
답을
answers
갖고
for its
있다.
employees.
그
The
답을
questions are
맞출
only asked to
수
see if
있는
you can get
길을
it right.
물을 뿐이지. 회사가
You're solely
너희에게
mistaken if
의견을
you believe the
묻고
company
있다고
is
생각하면
sincerely curious about your
큰
input.
착각이다.
회사가 그렇다면 본인은.
I'm sick of this.
Virgilius kicked Don Quixote, tossing her to the floor, then gripping her fall by the collar.
입사할 때를
I'm sure you
기억하고
remember
있겠지.
what went down when you joined.
그날의 거래를
I hope you haven't forgotten the deal we struck that day,
좋겠습니다.
Miss Don Quixote.
quijote 씨.
Virgilius's eyes glistened with a much brighter hue of red than usual. Staring directly into them, Don Quixote soon gave back a nod without another word.
여기까지.
That's all. Back to your
원래
seat.
위치로 돌아가도록.
Watching someone who usually exuded pride and confidence quite quickly shift to such a discouraged, crestfallen state didn't exactly make for a pleasant sight. Though a deal that got Don Quixote to go silent simply by bringing it up, it makes me wonder what was it about.
다른 놈들도
The same
마찬가지다.
goes for the rest of you.
회사는
A company isn't a
자아실현의
platform for
공간이나
fulfilling egocentric
사상을
dreams
설파하는
or preaching big
장소가
ideas.
취업
If
규칙을
you would still go
위반하면서도
against the terms
돌발
of your
행동을
employment contract
하겠다면
to act unprompted,
자신이 치를
consider the
대가를 한
consequences
번쯤
before you do.
더 생각하고 죽는 게 낫다고
You'll spend a
생각하겠지만
grueling period of
죽지
being
못할
unable to
거고
escape, not
프리랜서가
through
되고
death,
싶겠지만
nor through struggles at
퇴사가
severance.
불가능한 시기를.
그래도 저 양반 아이고 뭐더라?
Zack Preacher?
자크 프리더 씨한테 도움을 받은 게 힘이 기분이 상했던 모양이군.
지크 프리트님이요.
Oh, Siegfried.
본격적으로 작전 시작도 안 했는데 잔소리나 들었잖아. 그러니까 눈치 좀 보면서 행동했어야지.
에휴, 언젠가 한 번은 이럴 날이 올 줄 알았어요. 앞으로는 다들 주의하죠.
I'm just surprised it didn't come sooner.
둘 다 왜 나를 야리냐? 죽고 싶냐?
Looking to get stoned.
알았어, 알았다고.
Right, in episode 11, The Inquisitors. With the conflict sorted out, the bus finally departed. Looking out the windows evoked a strange feeling in the passengers.
저 인간들은 얼굴에 근심 하나 없어 보이네.
This is way different from the roads we've been through.
아하. 그러고 보니 관리자 양반은
둥지랑 뒷골목은 수준 차이가 심하죠. 또 둥지마다 저마다의 고유 문화와 역사가 다르고요.
Cultural heritage.
전원 집중.
Attention, all.
이번에 갈
Our destination
K사의
Our destination is the town of Kaul.
그곳 어딘가에
Situated in
로보톰이
SK,
집으로 연결되어
investigation
있는
revealed that a
경로가
passage connected to a
있다는
Lobotomy Corp branch exists somewhere in that village.
Oh, Sinclair. As soon as the name Cal was mentioned, Sinclair lapsed into fear once again and started trembling, as if something were coming after him.
하지만 너희들이 전해준 정보대로
But as you've told me,
제3의
a third party has
세력들이
occupied the area surrounding that branch facility. That's why I requested an additional recon operation from clearance.
비포팀의 사정 관측 3과가 투입되었죠. 에피와 소드 씨도 함께 하셨을 겁니다.
상황이 어떤지
We'll
파악이
receive a
되면
report from them
그쪽에서
once they get a
먼저
good grasp of
보고를
the
줄 거다.
situation.
Shortly afterward, the bus entered a quiet woodland path leading to the village. Lush green trees rarely found in the backstreets began to decorate the scene, providing a comforting sight, but that was soon disturbed by something odd. I could see an ominous billow of smoke rise in the distance.
왜? 저기 연기가
싱클레어?
Sinclair?
가론 꺾어
Cuddle, turn.
회피 기동, 덜컹덜컹.
Evasive maneuver, rumble tumble. The bus made a sharp turn to the left, shortly before a giant nail flew in and noisily embedded itself in the back window.
어떤 새끼야? 뒤질 뻔했잖아.
이 정도의 가속도로 실험해보진 않았지만 창을 조금 더 튼튼히 덧댈 필요가 있겠군요.
우리를 향해 정확히 조준하고 던진 거다. 아까 비포 팀들이 일컫던 엔사의 직원이겠군.
And Corp.
베르, 내 피가 다쳤어. 카론 슬퍼.
Erg, Neppy got hurt. Cut sad.
멈추지 않으면
Doesn't
더할
look like
기세군.
they'll stop anytime soon.
전원
Off the
합차.
bus, all.
As we got off the bus, a group stood in the way, clad from head to toe in rusty armor with faded coats of white.
정차. 이 길로는 지나가지 못한다.
아 이렇게 말로 하면 될 걸 유리창까지 뚫을 건 뭡니까? 나 참.
선전 보고 없이 공격해놓고는 무례하군. 소속이라도 말해야 예의지 않겠나?
우리는 2단 신문관. 불경한 일을 꿰뚫는 못이오. 죄악을 두드려 다스리는 망치다.
인사. 나겔 운트하모의 직원이라는 걸 어렵게도 말하네요.
Nago und Hammer,
못과 망치라고도 불리죠.
also known as Nail and Hammer.
지금은 2단 신봉자를 정화하고 있으므로 이 앞을 지나갈 수 없다.
2단? 이봐요. 우리는 단지 이곳을 서둘러 지나가고 싶을 뿐입니다. 관광. 관광 버스라고요.
Yeah, this is just a tour bus. Label has tourists all of a sudden. The sinners exchanged looks in silence. To prevent another disastrous first impression, Gregor was doing what he could, even though his efforts fell flat for the most part, to gently appease the armored crowd. Accompanied by an attempt at the kind, harmless smile a tourist would wear.
그래. 저번 광산 때부터
Pumpkin.
느꼈던 건데 사실 이런 쪽 개그에 욕심 있는 거 아니야?
그런 거 아니라고.
The quivering corners of his mouth aroused pity in my heart.
그렇다면 그대들의 순수성을 증명함이 바르리라.
좋아. 방법을 알려주면 못할 것도 없지.
The Inquisitor suddenly pointed in my direction. Uh-oh.
저 불경한 여행자의 머리를 베어내라.
Me?
그리고 우리 망치의 앞에 무릎 꿇고 봉헌해라. 그렇다면 그대들은 때묻지 않는 자이며 여정의 불이익 또한 없을지니. 물론 그 불결한 차량도 두고 가야 할 것이다.
Wait, what?
보자 보자니까 무슨 헛소리야. 야, 아무리 우리가 핫바지처럼 보인다고 해도 그런 걸 들어줄 것 같냐?
Furious, Heathcliff was the first to quit playing as a harmless tourist. Heathcliff, you didn't have to.
가짠치도 않은 것들이. 어디서 나보고 무릎을 꿇으란 거야?
The Inquisitor, who was declared to us, nodded in response.
알겠다. 그렇다면 그대들은 이단이다.
With that, the group of Inquisitors moved into position at once, ready to attack. Right. Want another off-screen battle later because I remember when I first did this battle when I was speeding through it. It was kind of a little bit rough, but I was able to get through it after all. Getting back on the bus, Cornelius greets us by casually lifting a hand.
이번엔 상대하기 조금 까다롭진 않나?
Weren't they a little trickier to deal with than your usual foes?
누누이 말하는 거지만 당신이 도와주면 훨씬 빠르게 끝낼 수 있어.
나도 너는
And as I
말하는
always
거지만
answer, there won't be any point to this if I help
아무
you.
의미가 없어.
저자들 우리더러 2단 신봉자라고 했어요. 대체 뭘 보고 그러는 거죠?
I think they were targeting me.
못과 망치, 경험이야말로 가장 중요한 가치란 말하는 날개.
Result murmured vaguely. Experience?
인간은 자신의 가치에 맞는 경험과 행동을 할 수 있도록 정해져 있다. 그들은 경험에 대해 그렇게 말합니다.
그것들 우리에게 관리자님의 머리를 내놓으라 했지.
Yeah.
그렇다는 건
그들이 또 온 거예요? 잊지 않았던 거죠? 그렇게 찾아와서.
Sinclair, are you okay? Sinclair was almost having a fit at this point. Rhodia looked at him with pitying eyes, but there was little she could do about it. Sinclair needs a hug.
베르베르, 소리 나는 상자가 시끄러워.
Greg, the sound box is being noisy.
선발대에서
Looks like the
연락이
advanced
오는
team
거야.
has words for us.
Effie?
아, 이리 줘. 에피, 여기는 버스다. 거기 상황은 어떤 것 같아?
It don't sound good.
에피?
Effie?
방금 에피 씨 목소리가 아니 그보다 사람 목소리이긴 했나요?
싱클레어,
Whistles.
무슨 소리를 하는 거야?
I accidentally clicked too fast.
바람.
I like how it also kind of sounded like a whistle too when he said whistles. Yeah, I heard that whistle. I thought like it came from somewhere else, but it's like, oh, it was from the game. Huh.
바람 소리가 들렸잖아요. 마지막에
그런 게 들렸어.
그 자식이 온 거예요. 마침내 우리 마을까지 전부 죽이려고.
Who? Calm down, Sinclair. What do you mean by whistles? And who's this wretched woman?
저를 기다리고 있는 거예요. 그건 저를 부르는 메시지였어요.
Resentful tears were streaming from Sinclair's face as he rambled.
잠깐만요. 저 앞에 아까랑 같은 자들이.
돌아가요.
What?
저희 그냥 돌아가면 안 돼요? 가기 싫어요. 돌아가요, 제발. 이제라도 운전대를 돌려서.
꼬맹이, 대체 왜 그러는 거야? 앞에 뭐가 있는데?
가면 안 돼. 전부 죽을 거야. 돌아가요.
에밀 싱클레어, 쓸데없는 소리를.
Emil Sinclair, don't be absurd.
Aldous was calmly flicking her wrist.
잠깐 기절할 정도로 복부에 충격을 가했을 뿐이다.
이번엔 박자가
We're in
맞았군.
agreement for once, it seems. I was this close to stepping in.
겁쟁이들은 전장이 필요 없으니까. 이대로 버스 밖에 버리고 가면 안 되는
Don't do
건가?
that. That might be a bit too far.
관리자님께서 그렇게 말씀하신다면.
Aldous looked down at Sinclair with a displeased face. Even though he was the timid sort, he's never opposed something so strongly until now. This unprecedented behavior of his bothered me. but I couldn't bring myself to ask him why, as he didn't seem to be in any state to tell me. But soon enough, Sinclair came back to his senses. He stared out the window with vacant eyes. The others are all out fighting.
죄송해요. 저도 갈게요. 짐덩이가 될 순 없으니까.
Well then. Silent night. The smoke that was faintly visible through the bus windows covered the whole town.
난장판이네요. 정말.
What the heck is this?
그런데 어디서 익숙한 노랫소리가 들리는 것 같지 않아요?
나 이 노래 알아. 그 뭐더라. 눈이 더럽게 많이 오던 날만 되면.
Is this like a Christmas song or something?
전쟁 때 병사들 사기 올린다고 이거 틀 때마다 진짜 힘이 쭉 빠졌는데.
The song evoked various memories in the group. For me, I'm not sure. It's definitely familiar, but it doesn't bring up any clear images in my head. However, I could still feel a faint splash of feeling from deep in my heart. Maybe I knew this song before I lost my memory. This mist of emotion roused inside me, though. It doesn't feel precious or warm. An ache. An inexplicable sting is what I felt.
맞아요. 그날도 이렇게 눈이 쌓여 있고 노래가 들리던.
The trees before us were decorated with grim ornaments. All sorts of internal organs and mechanical parts were hung from the branches, as if someone put people's innards on full display.
이건 너무 지독한 거 아니야?
But the question is, will Ryoshu call this art?
클래식. 아니, 키치하군.
She calls it kitschy, whatever that means. Kitschy?
근방에 생존자는 없다.
Then everything finally fell into place. It's just like...
마이크 테스트.
Oh, it's her. This is also the first time I've actually heard her voice too. A piercing sound caused the group to cover their ears.
모두 즐거운 성탄절 보내고 있나?
No.
고요하지는 않지만 거룩한 밤이지.
Isn't Christmas still a fair way off? Yeah, it's like months from now.
네, 한참이죠.
내 이름은 크로머. 순수를 사랑하는 파괴주의자 그리고 망치를 치는 자.
Cromer. Also known as Krumer. I mean, what?
이곳을 어떻게 넘어왔는지는 모르겠지만 너희는 지금 사유지를 침범 중이지.
Oh no, it looks like you guys are the ones trespassing here.
왜냐하면 여긴 보다시피 목과 망치가 심판 중인 신성한 구역이거든. 내 장식이 마음에 들려나 모르겠네. 뭐 길은 잘못 들어왔다 치고 지금이라도 얌전히 돌아가주면 너그럽게 벌금만 매겨주지. 왜냐하면 오늘은 성탄절이니까.
Nativity. What?
그 전에 잠깐. 거기 귀도 있어?
Guido.
이곳에 있나니.
Oh, so that's that guy's name.
혹시 말이야. 거기에 이단이 있나?
The massive man named Guidos, who responded to her, turns to us. He intently stares into each of us until his eyes fall upon me. Oh no. He gazes at me for a very long time. Although he was wearing a mask, those eyes of his, they froze us completely still, as if his glare nailed us to the ground. Get it? Nailed?
순수하지 아니한 자와 그들의 추종꾼이 함께합니다. 그리고 말씀하신 그 아이도.
뭐야? 내 싱클레어가 돌아왔어?
Sinclair?
날 보러 와, 싱클레어. 난 네가 알던 그곳에 있어.
Sinclair. Oh wow, I can hear him clench his teeth too. I can hear it, Sinclair grinding and gnashing his teeth. Yeah. He made a dreadful noise. I couldn't be sure if it was from hatred or fear.
나머지는 처리의 기도 아니면 내가 나서야 하나? 그래도 되는데.
쥐는 자께서는 불순한 것을 두드리는 일에 집중하소서.
One who grips.
좋아 좋아. 우리 정화 작업을 계속하자고. 그럼 모두 메리 크리스마스.
The Christmas isn't for like another few months. A number of visitors gathered around Guido. He stands firm behind them. He's not making any movement, but his presence alone is threatening enough. An intense aura of hostility was radiating straight from him. And then we beat them up some more. Off screen. Post battle.
힘든 상대였어요. 저자가 완전히 정신을 차리기 전에 우선
수치스러운 소리를 잘도 짓거리는 걸. 승기를
지금 군인 정신이 중요할 때예요?
Ishmael is right. That's not someone we can beat easily.
철수하겠습니다.
Otis reluctantly backed down. Sinclair, do you know what that Cromer meant by that familiar spot?
그건...
Sinclair shook. He was seemingly overwhelmed with dread. But I could also see a teeth-grinding anger in him that surpassed his fear. Looking at him, a thought blossomed in my mind. You need to talk, Sinclair. Tell us what you know, and you'll prevent half of the deaths we might suffer.
작전의 성공률도 올라간다. 효과적인 정보를 기대하지.
I hope I'm doing the right thing as the manager. Sinclair shook his head upon hearing my words, breathed in, and finally opened his mouth after some struggle.
우리 집이요. 크로머는 분명 그곳에 있을 거예요.
We're going to Sinclair's house, eh?
너 그 자식이랑 아는 사이였냐? 아, 젠장. 하도 귀가 찢어질 듯우서대서 머리가 다 지끈거리네.
학교에서 만났어요.
저런, 혹시 친구였어? 친구라면 잘 타일렀으면 좋겠는데.
I don't think we're talking our way out of this one.
친구 아니에요. 크로머는 우리 가족들을 죽였어요.
Yeah.
미안해.
A prosthetic head hanging from the tree slowly turned to face us. Lights and sparks occasionally flickered within. Huh?
왜 돌아온 거니?
싱클레어? 이웃들이야?
Rhodia asked while looking at the dismembered prostheses.
그런 것 같아요. 아니었으면 좋겠지만요.
Sinclair replied, watching with a grim look on his face as their bare wires sparked and short-circuited. The robotic head soon stopped moving, only emitting discordant things. Then, a song begins to fill the air. All the heads hung from the trees are singing the same song. The carol leaking through the vocal units of so many lifeless heads lands on the flames below.
이들에게 이단이란 건 역시 의체 보유자를 말하는 것이군요.
Heresy.
도시의 의체 보유자들이 보이게 된 지 꽤 오랜 시간이 흘렀지만 여전히 그들의 모습을 보고 이질감을 느끼는 사람들은 많죠.
저희 마을은 K사 의체 산업의 성지라고 불릴 정도로 주민 대부분이 하이엔드 의체 부품 제작에 종사하고 있었어요.
It was a hotspot for prostheses.
크로마는 오래전부터 계속 우리 마을을 주시했던 거예요.
네 가족도...
네. 저희 아버지는 신생 의체 회사의 대표였어요. 그래서
아니, 제가 보기엔 이자들에게 그런 거창한 사상 따위는 없어요. 그냥 광기와 폭력에 매료된 미치광이죠.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. Ishmael asserted to him. After a while staring at the Christmas trees decorated with his neighbors, Sinclair turned to me.
관리자님, 예전부터 여쭤보고 싶었던 게 있어요.
What is it?
기분이 어떠세요?
How does what feel? Feel?
네, 머리 대신 의체를 달고 있는 기분이 어떠냐고요?
Huh? I was a little taken aback since I've never had anyone ask that kind of question before. The issue is that there's no way to know how I might have felt before I got a clock for a head. That's...
따지려 드는 게 아니라요. 무례한 질문이었겠죠? 죄송해요.
No need, it's alright. The other sinners were a billion times ruder to me with their daily interactions anyway. I'm afraid I can't answer that. I don't remember a single thing about my life before this clock.
그러시군요. 항상 궁금했어요. 머리 대신 다른 것이 자리를 잡았을 때의 기분은 어떤지. 가족들은 모자를 쓰고 시계를 걸치는 것과 다를 바 없다고 말했지만 저는 아무리 떠올리려고 해도 잘 상상이 되지 않더라고요. 그 덕에 저만 유일하게 살아남았지만요.
I'm sure the procedures seem terrifying at such a young age. You don't have to feel guilty about that.
아니에요. 그런 게 아니에요. 전 단테 씨 생각처럼 그렇게 무고한 사람이 아니에요.
This is where the sin and sinner comes from. Sinclair quietly hung his head. I racked my brains for an appropriate reply, but no suitable words of comfort came up. Only the unpleasant sounds of sparks and flames filled the street. Purification. It was getting a little dark because the sun is setting, so I turned up the lights. Anyways, prosthetic bodies pile up the land like a landfill in the corner of the town. I could see that some of them were still conscious, letting out pained moans. The Inquisitors paid no heed. They strenuously jammed nails through each of the victims' chests over and over, executing their pure intent.
심장을 꿰뚫었을 텐데 신체는 아직도 박동합니다.
필시 철로 덧댄 심장일 것이다. 인간의 본연되는 부분조차 이단으로 물들었고 불결하도다. 살과 뼈를 모독하고 있는 모습이라니.
Hold on. Just gonna turn down the volume just a little bit. The Inquisitor began carefully pouring a bottle of liquid over the prosthetic person in what looked like a solemn ritual. Judging from the pungent smell, it was most certainly oil.
사람의 기름을 머금거라. 이단의 시체여.
Oil of humanity. Heretical Soma.
불그루도 돌아가지 못하는 자. 연기로 남아 흩어져라.
A lit match was then thrown upon the pile, letting rise a huge flame. With the sound of sparks flying out, the air soon filled with an acrid smell. It's not quite like the smell of burning flesh. The spreading fire finally brings the crackling glimmer in the prosthetic bodies to permanent darkness.
입으로는 정화를 말하면서 지옥을 창조해 놓았군요.
목과 망치는 언제나 인간성을 해석하는 데 몰두하고 있었다.
나도운타마.
고통도 응당 겪어야 하는 경험이라며 의체를 달고 있는 인간을 비난하던 자들도 있었지. 이렇게 행동으로 드러냈던 적은 없었지만.
Yeah.
아까부터 들었던 생각인데 왜 그렇게 엔사에 대해 빠삭한 거야 당신?
내가 엔사 직원이었으니까.
He used to work for N-Corp, but not specifically Naga-Untama.
아니 저것들하고 같이 일했다고?
Well, not these people specifically.
저들과 같이 일한 적은 없지만 소속의 관점에서 본다면 그렇다.
Come to think of it, this might be the first time I've heard Mersault actively talk about himself. He would rarely recount anything related to him. Perhaps he felt it wasn't necessary to speak at all.
왜 진작 말하지 않은 거야? 그럼 당신도 저런 괴상한 무기를 지니고 다녔어?
굳이 이야기할 필요가 있나?
뭐? 야, 그럼 내가 너랑 저 새끼들이 같은 편인지 아닌지 어떻게 구분해야 하냐?
You must explain yourself, Mersault.
난 말이야, 관리자 저놈을 시계대가리라고 부르고는 있어도 머리를 자르고 불태워도 싼 놈이라고는 생각하지 않아.
That's the nicest thing you said to me, to Dante, Heathcliff.
말만 번지르르하게 정환이 뭐니 하고 있어도 내 눈엔 그냥 사람 죽일 명분이 필요했던 미친놈들이 보일 뿐이거든.
Sure looks like it.
말해봐, 너도 저 새끼들이랑 똑같냐?
그런 것에 대해 생각하던 시기도 있었지. 같은지 다른지 답을 내놓지는 않았지만.
그럼 지금이라도 답을 내놓아보란 말이야. 넌 관리자 놈이 명령이랍시고 마을 사람들의 모조리 쳐잡아 죽이라고 하면 그대로 따를 셈이야?
꼭 답을 내놓아야만 하나. 그 일이 업무를 처리함에 있어서 도움을 주진 않는다. 사원은 명령에 따라 움직이는 것이 규칙이다. 베르길리우스, 그자가 내놓은 취업 규칙에도 적혀 있을 텐데. 관리자가 행하라고 하면 행할 뿐이다. 내 생각이 필요하다고 말하면 제공하겠지만 그럴 필요도 없는 상황에서 나불대는 버릇은 없다.
뭐? 너 돌았냐? 너야말로 머리를 깡통으로 교체한 놈들이랑 별반 차이가 없어 보이는데?
Mersault is, let me just pull this up. Let's see. Ah, there it is. This is coming.
단백질이 16%, 수분이 60%, 무기질 7%로 구성되어 있다는 점에선 명확한 차이를 띠지.
(16% protein, 60% water, 7% minerals, and so forth. I am clearly different in terms of composition.